read that your nickname is Mangusta. What does that mean?
You know Mangusta, an animal?
Do you have something in common with mongoose?
The animal which is fighting with the snake with fast reaction.
My name is Olga. I'm from Ukraine. I'm playing poker for more than 8 years.
When people don't know me, they try to fight with me. They want to play a lot of hands with me because they consider me to be a weak player and they want to use their advantage as they think they have versus me.
Olga? No, never heard.
If I were you, I'd use my advantage totally.
Poker is 95% male game. Probably that's my advantage as long as I'm a woman.
All right, well, this is a channel of no regrets, okay? No regrets on this channel. Whatever you want to do, I can do it.
I hear this all the time. Like in 2 years, there will be no poker. 2 years left, and we're still here and poker is very popular. I want poker grow and I want changes.
What kind of changes are you looking for?
To attract more people, more fishes. Let's make this game fun.
So how are you going to do that?
Of course, now I will tell you all the secrets. Wait for it.
What do you mean secrets? I'm fucking in on this. I'm in on this with you. We're together. Come on.
Go too harsh when you are first and
Just
second.
shut the f up, actually.
She doesn't say anything, and you are like complaining about something.
Shut up!
You are being aggressive. Just go f yourself.
I realized I made a big mistake. Sometimes I do get in little scuffles, as a matter of fact.
So you want to say that you are not toxic overall?
I'm not what?
Not toxic.
Get ready to level up. This is Winning the Game of Life, presented to you by Dan Jungleman Case.
What's up, guys? Today I'm with one of the female rising stars in poker from Ukraine, Olga. You know what? I forgot. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. That's so. I am Moldova. How do you pronounce it?
Also, correct.
I did it right. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Okay. Well, you're well known, especially from your Game of Gold appearance. What do you like? How do you feel like you played in that, and how do you feel about how that represents your poker presence?
I was surprised that they picked me for the show. I'm very glad to be part of it. I didn't think that I performed like super cool, but I received a lot of nice feedback and I'm glad that people liked me a lot.
It seems like, from what I can tell, doing a bit of research on you, you have a bit of an interesting portfolio in a few different ways, but it looks like you mostly play tournaments. Is that right? Mostly play live tournaments?
Yeah, correct. I play online as well, but like people know me from live because they can see me. So
yeah, fair point. Yeah, I guess when you play online, you're just another whatever shadowless nerd on the internet. But live, they're like, oh, wait a second. She's not just some dude from the mom's basement. This is a lady here. Okay, things are a little different.
could be.
2 questions. I'm curious, do you find that there's considerable money live? Have you tracked this or looked at it? Or you just like playing it? And do you think that being a woman helps you to win more money live than perhaps men?
First, as long as you know that I'm from Ukraine and it's like pretty cheap to live here. So I don't need to earn like huge amount of money to have nice life. That's what I was doing all my life, just playing tournaments and having good time, traveling here and there. I liked it a lot, this style. So it was fine for me. As for your second question, they say that women can use that they are women at the table, but honestly, I don't know how to do that. When I'm playing, I do not know how to use this advantage, if we can say that. So I don't know. People never surrender, never give any things which make my life easier at the table.
Oh, really? So you don't just run into people that have some weird complex and are really aggressive against you, or just fold to you all the time because they're trying to be nice or whatever it is, or they're hitting on you and doing something weird with how they play? None of that?
No, because poker is like the game where like people are fighting for money, and they don't want, especially some men, they don't want to lose a hand to a woman. And I noticed this at the beginning of my career, that they tried to fight with me. And when people don't know me, like when I'm new at the table, they want to play a lot of hands with me because they consider me to be a weak player, and they want to use their advantage as they think they have versus me.
Okay, so they do that. All right. I was about to say, like, maybe like all the guys have just straightened out their act and like they're all playing professional all of a sudden, and there's no more money in poker, but looks like there's still people doing peopling things of sorts, men doing men things, or men doing things that embarrass the gender a little bit. I've heard the stories from the ladies. Sad to hear it, but yeah. If it does make you money, there's definitely ways to profit off of people really wanting to win too bad. That's for sure. I think that's some considerable edge, but what do I know? I've never really been in this situation of like, I guess I've been in it. It's kind of annoying when you're running cold, where someone just really wants to like beat you every hand, and you just like have to have something to play back. Like that can be increases the variance.
I can say one thing which happened to me. Like, I try to overthink sometimes. Like, the man is playing a hand versus a woman, and he thinks that I will fold more, so I need to call more. Like, I call and they show me value usually, and it happens to me all the time. Yeah, and like, I was thinking that they will bluff versus me more often, but no. They play a hand like versus like any opponent, and that was tricky for me because this overthinking was not good.
Yeah, fair point. So it sounds like you're kind of traveling all over. One of the biggest reasons why you, other than the Game of Gold, why you gained quite a bit of fame was from a big win in Panama, over $100,000. It's kind of a random tournament to play, by the way. But to be fair, Panama is one of the more underrated travel places to go. Why Panama of all places? Are you also traveling to parts of South America? I suspect perhaps that you're picking places that are nice to go to. So you're like perhaps combining a little travel and professional play.
Honestly, I am a big fan of traveling, like almost everyone. And I have this thing in my head, to-do list. I want to visit as many countries as I can. And when I went there, I was never been there before in Panama. And I had a friend who was going to play scoops there, and he said, let's go together. And we went after, that's not my boyfriend, just for clarifying, a real friend. And we went there to play online, actually. And he won a package for LAPT. And when we arrived, I wasn't even going to play there. And he said, hey, listen, when we're here, like, let's play. And like, why not? And we arrived like at 6, and at 7 was the end of late registration. And it was kind of expensive tournament for me because the buy-in was $2,500. I was playing like $500 and $1,000 and euro buy-ins. And I say, okay, like, why not? Okay, minus 2.5K, no problem. And I came to the table. I remember I was very tired. And like in the first hand, I lost half of my stack. And I was thinking, oh my God, like, really, I came here all the way from Europe through the ocean and invested a lot of money in this tournament, and this is it. This is the end. But somehow I made a comeback, and like all the tournament, I was doing good. I almost won it. In heads up, I was like 2 times all in for the win, but I could not. So heads up is not my strong side. Is not my strong point, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, it's like kind of, it's not that useful if you're sitting there playing tournaments, and the only use case is when precisely you have to play heads up for all of it. And it's so don't blame you, especially it's to get really good at it these days. You have to really know your shit, in my opinion. Like really know it. You have to study like fuck. but studying an awful lot. Yeah, so, but I'm not like Helmuth, or most of us aren't like Helmuth in the sense that second place is still pretty good. Second out of however many, hundreds or whatever were in that tournament. But a good job. It seemed that this attracted quite a bit of attention. You got coaching from Eugene Kachalov, a few PokerStars people like Daniel Negreanu, and Andre Akari. I don't know him very well. And did that help your game much, getting different perspectives from different pros? I'm a little bit curious of your process of how you improved, especially since you're not an online player.
I mean, I play tournaments online. I have pretty big distance, like big volume of tournaments, but I prefer playing online, playing live, of course. If we speak about this thing, that was promotion from PokerStars named PokerStars Protege, when you had to win a tournament and then make the video why this pro had to pick you. So I had 2 lessons from Eugene and 1 lesson from some online team pro. I don't remember the name. It was long time ago. What I remember from that, I didn't get too much information during that sessions, but I saw how real pros, how they analyze the hand, how they build their thinking during the hand, to what they pay attention. For me, it was very different. And also Eugene is my good friend, and what I can do always ask advice from him anytime. So that helped me a lot.
Okay, so it did help you a fair bit. It sounds like the perspectives weren't really that different. It sounds like I'm thinking to myself, maybe there's something to be gained from different people, to be coached from different people, if you see what I'm saying. Especially if they have different and yet effective ways of approaching the game. But you're saying that just the general thought process on the whole of how pros thought was useful, but there wasn't so much distance between what they were saying. Is that right?
I didn't get what you said, Daniel. Sorry.
So I'm saying that there wasn't much difference in how they approached it, and you just got more overall of how the best way to think about the game was. More a general way of thinking about what they analyzed. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a little unfortunate. Maybe there are counterexamples to that, or people that are a bit more unusual that find some ways to succeed. I like the weirdos personally.
Excuse me. What I want to say, I don't know if probably that's my advantage as long as I'm a woman. That I can, poker is 95% male game, and I can ask any man advice what he thinks about the hand, and he will I think that almost everyone will give me the feedback, so I can ask for help, and they will help me. I think that's good. I don't know if I was a man and I asked about another man about the hand if he would like to help me, but I think as a woman I can do that, but I'm not. I'm just I don't want to be annoying, so I don't do that.
Oh, I would, if I were you, I use my advantage totally. I ask people all the time. I'm a little bit relentless, actually. I might knock on too many doors, maybe even. But there you go. You're thinking of how you use your advantage in ways that are creative.
You ask them, and they say you honestly?
Not always, no. But then I figure out who's lying and who's telling the truth and who I can trust. So if they do lie, usually I figure out eventually, and then I know, okay, I can't trust this person. It's kind of similar. Bit related, actually. I thought to ask you the question, have you gotten cheated much in poker? I wonder if getting cheated in some kind of way, what the percent is affected with women. If there is any difference. But I think that you're not the type of person that's going to go and do business with a bunch of people. And so not open up so many avenues where you might get taken advantage of.
It happened to me. I made a swap with one man during late stage of WSOP. And he got to the final table, and he was lost after that. He didn't reach me, he didn't text me. Only when we met next time, he said, okay, I remember that, I owe you money. in terms of cheating at the poker table, I remember I was three-handed in the tournament, and there was a break, and I saw my two opponents going out from the lavatory, and they were discussing something. And I was thinking, oh my God, they had a talk like, let's bust her and then we split money or something. But I won a tournament, and even if they were discussing something, it didn't go well. So maybe there were other situations, but like mostly people do not cheat, I think, or I don't remember, or I didn't notice. So,
Oh, fair enough. Sounds like tournament poker's actually, come to think of it, tournament poker seems for the most part pretty clean, other than there is evidence that many pros soft play a little bit, but not full blown soft play. You say so? You think they do?
I mean, like, I was starting my career in Ukraine, in Kiev, and you are playing versus same opponents all the time, And of course, there were situations, okay, don't bluff versus me, okay? And I don't think it's good. Also, I heard the situation when, like, the girlfriend and the boyfriend cannot, like, fight in a hand. Like, I don't think it's nice. What happened to me once? There was like, I don't know if it was good or no. I wrote about this situation in my Instagram. I was in a hand with a man, and like he raised, I called as jack. Flop was king high, and he bet, I call. Turn a ace, and he bets again, I call. And I asked him like, if you have an ace, why did you bet on the flop? If you have a king, why do you bet on the turn? He says, Olga, because I have ace king. I have ace jack. Like, I don't believe he has ace king. I say, really? You have ace king? He says, yes, I have ace king. I say, I don't believe. And he just like, he showed me his cards a little bit, and that was
What the fuck?
I'd say, okay, I fold, okay. That was the only one time in my life it happened.
What the fuck?
I mean,
That might be a guy trying to be nice to a girl, because
could be. Yes. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something like that's happened. I feel like something sort of similar has happened to me. Sometimes people are really nice to me for some reason, but I don't think anyone's really showed their hand.
I mean, that was one time, and he showed like a little bit. I think when you like someone, you want to fight versus him or her, and you want to show your like advantage. I don't know. Usually, when someone likes someone, they fight, I think.
Well, I do think that when somebody likes someone, it creates more of a polar range. There's a decent chance that happens, so it should then increase the frequency of something odd happening, right? And one of the possibilities of something odd happening is fighting with each other in some kind of way. That's my guess, but I mean, you could make some kind of rationalization that people want to be friendly with each other, keep it cool because they like each other. This is one of those observations of like what actually happens kind of things, I think. As a lot of things are. Oh, by the way, I want to mention before I ask you another question that I almost forgot to say, some of the best tournaments for live poker, by the way, I don't know if you knew this, are in South America, according to the data that I've gathered. That those are the ones that have a lot of the best conditions, and those are the ones that are getting better and better over time. Did you know that?
I didn't know. It's too far from me. And I still think that United States is the best place to play because there are so many tournaments every day, everywhere, especially Vegas. So, like, it's good to combine travel and poker to go to South America, but I still prefer United States more.
So you're a true grinder then, because I don't know, maybe I'm biased. I personally prefer... We should talk best travel destinations. I'm in China right now, of all places. Let me just say, I'm ready to wear the Chinese flag. I've actually got kind of a Chinese outfit on now, because I'm blown away by how fucking amazing this country appears to be. Certainly, there's lots of very cool things. I don't know what's going on under the hood, but like for one crazy thing, the government actually cares about its people. It's kind of weird. Well, it's not as weird as it sounds, but for a massive country, okay, cool. Yeah, I would have thought you would have liked to go to Brazil and these exotic places, Colombia and like wherever the fuck, tropical islands and that sort of thing. Is that not up your alley? You're not a beach girl of any sort?
South America is still almost unexplored by me. I was only in Panama and Peru, and I want to go, but I don't think that I will do poker there. I don't know. I don't know, but maybe.
Yeah, to hit up Felipe and see what he's got going on. He's running a couple tournaments there. I was very pleased with Brazil. Personally, I would have thought you would have been all over these like hot travel destinations. Australia, by the way, has got a good poker market. See, I know all the travel spots. I would have thought you would have known because you said you like travel.
Yeah, but I travel mostly in Europe, so because it's close to home, and Australia, you cannot go there for a week. You need to go there for a month or so, like to explore the continent and play there. So it's in the future, not planned yet.
Yeah, I kind of wish I spent more time there. But Australia is super nice. Yeah, it's like one of the nicer places.
And also one thing, why I don't want to go to Japan and Australia and New Zealand, because after these countries, it's very difficult to visit other countries. You will not be very surprised there. So, like, this is for dessert.
No. You have to be spoiled at some point. You have to have the sweet things at some point. Maybe multiple points if you're like me.
Yeah.
Maybe more than you should, in fact, if you're like me. I'm not spoiled. There's always something new. If you go to China's like kind of on the level of Japan, in my opinion, because as I'm discovering in a bizarrely lucky way. And then you'll go to Dubai when Ras Al Khaimah opens up its casino, and you'll be like, "Oh, this is awesome too! I didn't know about Dubai." And then all of a sudden, Saudi Arabia's in on the gambling too, because the whole Middle East is opening up. And then Oman gets into it, and you're like, "Oh, there's like a new coral reef outside Oman." There actually is. I forget what it's called. And then you realize, there are loads of things. And then there's something in Morocco or whatever the fuck. Just to give you some more ideas, if you're particularly curious. Well, why don't you tell us more of the best European places to travel to? Because you could spoil a little bit of those for us.
To travel or to play poker, but those, though they are both good. Like my favorite country is Italy. I'm never tired of it. I'm even learning Italian a little bit. I like it. Also, I love France. So many places to go. It's so diverse, very tasty, good food, good wine. I don't know, but also I like to go to Czech Republic or Austria. Like I don't speak about United Kingdom because I need visa for that. But if I had an opportunity to go there, like often, I would do. I love traveling, and every place is so nice. Like I didn't go to China yet, though I was in Korea and I liked it a lot. I think that when I go to China, people will like my blonde hair, because when I was in Korea, they were like, oh, something like kind of unusual. And I have a friend who is working as a model in China, and she's blonde and green eyes, and everyone, oh my God, like, so I want to experience that, so I will come as well there. And I like Chinese food too. And I like Asian culture. I like how Asians behave, how they treat each other, how they behave in public. I like they're not so loud, very nice. So I should go as well.
Well, being as in China, I might as well totally willfully spread some Chinese propaganda. If you like Chinese food, then you'll absolutely fucking love it in China. South Korea doesn't have shit on China. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. There's just no crime, and every single place is beautiful and like on the level of advancement of like Dubai. And okay, so I haven't been paid by the Chinese government to say this. And actually, there are some poker tournaments in Dubai, or excuse me, China, or there will be in the future. Matter of fact, hint, hint. But there are some in Sanya, which is tropical. So if you didn't even mention the beach, by the way, I thought you might be a beach person, because But there's not any hints on your profile that you're a beach person, to be fair. So perhaps I'm wrong. I don't know.
I don't know either. I like sea, but I don't like, this lazy vacationing when you're on the beach doing nothing. I'm more like exploring places, go there, go here, eat, try, look for something, buy something, and being like at the beach, at the seaside, it's fine for me just for like one day or two. But what I would like to experience to play in China, because I have this thing, collect and flex on hand and mob.
I didn't know you could do that.
I mean, like you go to the country, you need to cash there, and you will get a flag on hand and mob. So I'd like to go to China, play the tournament there, cash, win, and have one more flag. It would be nice.
Another fun fact is that the Sanya tournament is like pretty fucking big. Like obviously China has 1.4 billion people and like 4,000 entrants. Not super big in terms of like a buy-in, but I mean, I don't know what you're looking for. What kind of buy-ins you're looking for? There's like, it's actually a decent spot. I think it doesn't compare to other Chinese spots, to be honest, but it's tropical and soft and, all the good things.
And these tournaments, like, who organizes them? Like, is it like big poker sites, or it's like made by like casinos, local casinos, poker rooms there? Who makes them? Where can I see the promos of these tournaments?
It's like, I believe it's CPS, China Poker Series, something like that. It's something that has to be, China's very strict with a lot of things that are run, so it's kind of checked on by the government and that kind of thing. So it's like ultra safe, and yeah, that's about it. It's just something that has to cooperate with whatever government officials come and do their thing there. It's that's a bit of a recent development.
And do I need to speak Chinese to play there?
No, but that's one of the hindrances of like a couple of these Asian countries is there's not a whole lot of English, especially there's a fair bit of English there specifically. But I mean, no one fucking speaks Chinese almost. It's very hard to learn. I speak some, but definitely I wasn't getting by because I spoke Chinese. Like there's no way. Yeah, might as well toot its horn. I think it will grow and has big future. I think, to be honest, in general, poker in Asia has a huge future. Also in Taiwan, is gonna have a massive future. It's legal in Taiwan. It's like lately the hot spot. A hint, if that's also on your radar. But that's more of like a spot to grind, I would say.
Okay, good to know.
Okay. Well, any more thoughts on traveling before we move on? I will say I like Italy a lot too, and France. There's not many poker tournaments in either, really, are there?
There are some, not big. In France, there are like sometimes WPT and there was CPT, but they canceled that. So, but when I go there, I just travel. I don't play. I like to play in America because, like, it's so much easy to play there in terms like nice atmosphere, people are talking, they are having fun. Like when I am in Europe playing, everyone is too busy with his own thoughts, like no one is talking. And in America, it's fun, more fun.
Who would have thought? I did hear that the EPTs are the toughest tournaments, the European tournaments, for some reason. I don't really understand why that is, but okay. Apparently the WSOP and all that's like way softer. I don't get it, but okay.
Because people are having fun in America during these WSOPs. Like, for example, you can get a birthday present, like a ticket to WSOP, like 10K, okay, to the main event. And who gives tickets for any tournaments in Europe? No one. Like, when I found out about poker, my friends didn't play this game, and they don't play, they don't think it's like interesting. While in United States, it's very super popular game, and like every second person at least played a hand. So that's good.
Oh, all right. I didn't know that. That's interesting. I guess America is doing something right after all. Yeah, maybe they're doing a decent job of making poker fun. America's a bit more.
I mean, it's American game. Like it has its history starting there, and they are doing good job. Like I don't know why poker is not that popular in Ukraine, because probably it's a poor country and people are not having fun, like losing money there. So there are no, like, when a person is a professional, he or she should like to be good, you know? Like no one is giving money away.
Sure. All right, fair enough. Let's move on. I want to know, would you say that is there an advantage to being a woman in poker? Like with getting, sponsorships or getting into games or anything like that, would you say that's the case? If not on the tables? We did talk about on the tables. You imply that there's an advantage on the tables, or at least there appears to be.
I think that it's very interesting to look after women at the poker table, because they are different. They like, I always notice the nice poker players, female poker players, and it's good that there are a lot of them in poker, and I think it will help in future to get more women, especially if we create nice community where women are supporting each other. I think that it's easier to get sponsorship if you are a woman, because not too many women are in poker, but also it's not for everyone. I have a friend who is really good in poker, but she doesn't like streaming. She doesn't like do anything like speaking with fans, like inviting people to the tournaments. It's not for her. She likes to play poker and that's it. She doesn't want extra attention. As long as I love to get attention and I like to communicate with people, for me, it's like I like that, but it's not for everyone, I think.
Hey guys, before we get into that, just a quick announcement from the Jungleverse. The Jungleverse is a community that gives you the tools that you need to both get support from the right community in order to succeed in poker in your kind of way. In addition to tools that help you to get better at poker, we've got tools that help make your life easier in a difficult world, such as a justice system, rakeback tools, a community that supports you, working together for your best interest. It's designed to help you find your own kind of way for success, and maps to help you find the best games. The Jungleverse is here to help you. Just click the link below and let's all win together.
I think that was a yes. I'm not sure. It's like a sort of yes, that it's advantageous to be a woman in poker.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, spread the word then, and particularly if they like it, because something's up. You've heard of pocket queens, right?
About what?
Pocket queens. That's what it's
Pocket
called.
queens?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Not the hand.
No, then I didn't. I no.
It's a community of women led by Victoria Lipschitz, I believe.
Lipschitz, really?
Lipschitz. Yeah.
I'm her big fan, but I didn't hear about that thing. Something new, probably.
Maybe it's been around for a while. Maybe you should hit her up. So they needed some support, and I talked to them. I actually gave them a seminar.
Okay.
Yeah, so there you go. There's a community of women. I presume they're good to each other, and
I didn't know that. I'm her big fan. She's amazing. I support her like everywhere where she plays. I like her a lot. We were playing once at the WPT at Win in 10K main event. It was second day. She came to my table, and I was I didn't know her at all. I didn't know that she was a pro, but I was so surprised by her performance. She's cool. She's great. And everything what she does is great. So I'm sure this pocket queens is great too. But I never heard yet.
Oh, I read about you. I didn't know that she was one of your the people that you look up to. I read more like Jason Kuhn and this Jesse Lanis guy, and
it's like them. Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Well, Jason Kuhn is a bit more obvious. I'm a Jason Kuhn fan for the most part. He big timed me recently over text. Was trying to get him to support my fitness challenge. I'm still gonna get you, Jason Kuhn. I'm gonna get you support my fucking fitness challenge. But I presume he cares about fitness, being ripped and all that. But anyway, Yeah, since he's big time now. But he made an appearance. I'm being facetious. Are there any others that you'd like to point out? Perhaps the women poker players that you think are good examples. I have one in mind. I mean, Victoria was a good one, but I'd like to hear you go first.
I don't know. I was thinking about man. One person I want to mention, because I like him a lot, is Jonathan Jaffe. Great personality, very fun. Like, I'm his big fan too.
Podcast.
Yes, he has his own podcast as well. Yes. Speaking about Jesse Lonis, he's a very nice personality too. And his close friend Daniel Sepiol is also a nice guy. So I don't know. So many nice people in both. Like, if we start mentioning them, ladies, when I speak to you, like, all information goes out from my head. I forgot who is playing poker. Like, I forgot all the names. Whom you wanted to name?
I wanted to name Liv Bowery. She still qualifies, but she's a little bit of. I mean, I respect what she's done because, like, it's a bit more unique to me than the people in poker. But she's actually done a lot of things that I personally want to do, like go into the intellectual space and get like fucking Lex Friedman on her podcast and all this shit. How the fuck do you do that? And then she also is like taking more of the content angle of making something entertaining, more about philosophical ideas that maybe is up your alley. I'm not sure because you're a literature major and that's not that far away from philosophy, or you study literature. But like, I think a lot of my audience won't understand this, but she like made something about like this concept of greed getting out of control, labeling it as something like Mordock. I forget the name, but I thought that was very clever and interesting, and a clever way to like make these difficult ideas easy to understand. And she's really like bridged that gap and done a lot of interesting things in those arenas. Plus, actually had a lot of success in poker too. So she's done kind of all the above.
She's very smart and talented, and I am very envious to people like her. Yeah, she's great.
Speaking of which, I read that your nickname is Mangusta. What does that mean?
Yeah.
What's that about?
You know Mongoose, the animal which is fighting with the snake with fast reaction.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I liked the animal, like the character of the animal, and also I saw this animal in the movie about James Bond. Where they were playing poker, Casino Royale, and when I was picking up the nickname, I decided, okay, let it be Mangusta. So that's it. Nothing special.
Oh well, I will tell you something that's a little bit special. As a matter of fact, my Chinese zodiac animal is the snake, and it's the year of the snake. So we haven't had any fights yet. So just throwing that out there. I guess I could be a bit like a snake sometimes, a little sneaky sometimes.
In my country, we are crazy about that. Now it's year of the snake. Before it was the year of dragon or someone else. Like,
it's the dragon year.
Yeah, but I'm not superstitious. I don't believe in all this science and everything. But it's fun.
All right, fair enough. I don't really know how this stuff works. Allegedly, for what it's worth, there's this like guru Sri Yukteswar who's very smart, and he was like really into astrology, and allegedly if you're super into astrology, I'm just gonna keep this closed because it's not an astrology channel. Allegedly it works if you're like super into it, and from far away it doesn't look like it works. I don't know how that makes sense. I haven't studied it. Someone basically predicted that I'd be into it randomly. That has not happened. I will say that there is some kind of science to how the planets, etc., do in fact affect what happens on the Earth. As a matter of fact, what happens with people. This gets into the Spiceville that I don't really understand. Just throwing that out there. Just
I will tell you the thing why I don't believe in this. When I was born, when I was at the hospital, my mom was next to other women who delivered a boy, and we were born same day, same year, like 5 or 10 minutes difference. And he is living different life. He has different value. He has values. He has different behavior, different character, temperament. He's very different. And what we were born same, planets were in same position, stars were in same position. But why we're not the same then?
This is a 5-minute difference. That's a good
And
question.
what is that so big difference? 5 minutes? Like I don't know.
Probably not.
When you're reading these horoscopes, was very popular in Ukraine, Sagittarius, today you have a good day, other sign has a bad day,
Well, that's all bullshit. I mean, come on.
yeah, this is such
There's no way.
exactly. And especially what I hate a lot when some signs do not match each other, and they say you don't believe in horoscopes. You don't believe in horoscopes until you meet a scorpion, because they say scorpions are crazy. They are the worst. This is also, I'm not a Scorpio, but this is I think this is bullshit. No, I don't know.
The science says you're right. Currently, what do I know, man? I don't want to take on astrology right now, but apparently we found an interesting subject. So yeah, poker players tend not to believe in these kinds of things. Some, matter of fact, happen to be true. I just want to throw out that meditation was in this category for a long time, till about the 1970s, I think. And then it became science all of a sudden. But astrology currently still is in the category of why the fuck do people believe in it?
It's a science in terms of all these planets and everything. Liv Bohr is very good at that. But about this science, this is totally nonsense, I think.
Are you a woman of science? I guess, you have to be a woman of poker science at least. Are you a woman of science in general?
I wish I was so good at math as you were, but no. I heard that you didn't want to study at school, but everything was so easy for you, especially math, like this. Is that true?
Yeah, basically I did all my homework in school, and yeah, I don't know, how did you know that? But yeah, I was quite talented.
Because I have my own podcast and I want to invite you there. So I made a research about you, and I know that, yeah, it was very easy for you. And my question to you was, was studying in poker the same, so easy as it was at school for you, or no?
I will tell you that my poker, I'm making a little South Park video about it, but basically no, but I had a more awkward introduction to it. So I started winning within about, a couple months, and I probably would have won faster if I just stuck to online, because the players I played against were actually kind of decent, kind of comparative to random players. So the answer is sort of no. I definitely struggled a lot for the first few months. It was not like whatever was going on in the other classes, but it wasn't nearly as soft and as efficient as the introduction to the other subjects. So basically the learning curve was not the real world was my teacher in a really annoying way. But I definitely think there's lots of examples in poker, by the way, of people that didn't really seem to have natural talent and then slayed later through good work ethic and being disciplined and stuff. What about you?
I'm not disciplined. I'm not talented. That's why I'm the worst.
Are you kidding?
Sometimes I want to study and I want to play, and sometimes I have big breaks. I was talking to Patrick Leonard recently, and what I found out about him, that he has no breaks from poker at all. There was maximum one day he wasn't playing, he wasn't studying. That's huge devotion. That's not about me.
Oh, I will say I played a shitload. I played an awful lot, and that does help in that it builds a lot of awareness for the spots. So once you do study, the effect of the studying is amplified, right? So if you played a lot and then you study and oh yeah, I remember that spot, then you don't really need to study as much in a way to retain the information. So how do you work on your game? What's your way of figuring things out?
I play and I study through my mistakes. I mean, I think that I study. I like the most favorite thing is watching poker. I'm never tired of it. I can watch live tournaments, but it's not very effective, I'm not great in using the tools, all this GTO stuff. What I do from time to time, I have personal coaching sessions with the guys who are much smarter than me, and I think that helps.
Fair enough. I'm sure plenty of people help out with a little bit of you could probably get some free help for some of the solvers. They're not that hard to use once you figure them out. But yeah, that's a pretty effective method. It's just you make mistakes and then you look them up and then figure out, oh, okay, that's not do that next time and do something else.
Situations like this mistake you will never have again because it's different stage of the tournament, a different opponent, different stack sizes. I mean, there are some similar tendencies, but why some people don't like to review hand histories? Because the same situation will never happen to you again.
This is the advantage of playing online, by the way. This it happens again online. You play a shitload of hands, or something similar will happen at some point. It's not so many unique spots, but
I mean, maybe I'm just trying to convince myself that I'm not lazy, and trying to say that this will not happen again, but finding the excuses not to review the hand histories.
Well, whatever works for you, whatever you'd like to do, how much you want to work on is up to you, up to whoever's watching this as well. I personally, and it depends how much success you really want to go for. Depends how extreme you want to go for. No one needs to be it's not necessary to be so extreme, really. It's kind of an arbitrary goal, really. Do you have any specific goals with poker?
Yes, I have goals. I set them every year, but they're not even close. I don't know. I just want this game, never to be tired of this game, still have passion for this game. I still do. Maybe because I have the breaks, I have other life outside the poker. I do some other stuff. I'm always hungry for poker. Speaking about the things you say that you should do what you want to do. I want to tell you the thing, what I know. Probably you heard about this guy, Jeremy Becker, new poker star, rising star, who already has a lot of successes. The guy never played a hand online, what I heard, and he never had a computer. So he has only the phone, and he is not using any tools for studying. All what he does is he's playing live and trying to remember the situations, to analyze them, not using any programs, and he's doing perfect, I think. He's crushing the competition. Though I don't know him personally, but what I heard, I don't know, maybe the guys who are watching podcast would say that that's not true. That's what I heard. That's amazing. You still can beat the pros without any online background. That's awesome, I think.
I have a couple questions. Firstly, what got him signed in the first place? Was it just his success from online or success in tournaments? And then secondly, I'll say that in the first place.
No. I mean, not a contract from PokerStars. He is a poker star by himself already. Because he's a new here. Yeah, he didn't. I don't think that he has any contract, as long as I remember. He doesn't have any patches, and I follow him on Instagram, but I don't think he represents someone. He just playing a lot, crushing the tournaments, and he is very hungry for poker. He is he has no breaks from it. He's playing live a lot.
In my humble opinion, or perhaps not so humble opinion, I would like to say that having been around for a long time and seeing the people that, for whatever reason, have some pride in never using the solvers and that sort of thing. First of all, I don't really understand it's kind of like going to college and never opening a book. You know what I mean? or going to work and like saying, "Oh, I like didn't do this one thing." Like, nice, bro. That's my first thought is cool. Meaning, who cares? Do you know what I mean?
No, I think that we still have to care because he achieves the goals. He wins the tournament without any hard work. Like, like nowadays, tell someone like you can come and earn money easy without doing anything. Like you like if you want to play the expensive tournaments and win them, you have to work, you have to study, you have to do this and this. And he, with his own example, he makes poker more attractive, like when you can come like from the street and you can beat the pros. I think that's a very good example, and we need more people like this. It will be great if I start crushing all the tournaments, like winning bracelets and trophies, and without doing hard work. Like, of course, if you study, like if you devote your time for this, like it's normal. Like, but you have to work. And if someone is asking me, like, I want also to live life like you do. What I have to do? I say, I mean, like you need to study. You need to watch some materials. Like you will need to devote time for this. You cannot just go and win the money like this. Like it's easy. No, it's not like that. I don't know.
I see. Well, I will say that it's at least good for poker if people can believe that they, can come along and beat the pros. That being said, if we're really looking at things from the standpoint of how do you best find success, probably it's going to require some kind of hard work. Not necessarily. It's possible you come along and you happen to be a poker prodigy, like apparently this guy is. But I will say, in my not so humble opinion, that when I hear that someone doesn't use the solvers and is like, for whatever reason, stubbornly not using them and plays high stakes, none of those guys have really been very good, and usually had clear ways to be taken advantage of in terms of on the tables. Sometimes even myself, by the way, I'm a little stubborn sometimes too, and I look at the solvers and I'm like, oh fuck, I fucked up. Blah, I should have looked earlier. The point being, usually I try to play them because I'm a little suspicious. There are a couple other examples that have done really, really well, such as Laszlo. I would say Laszlo is pretty good, but even he's like, Mikhail Thuritz has had a lot of success too, but he's like, sometimes he's got a lot of talent. Both those guys have loads of talent. There are exceptions of sorts, but they're still like playing a lot. They're in the weeds, and they're playing a shitload. Maybe for whatever. At some point, you're kind of like, man, just take a look at the fucking solver instead of grinding your face off and like bragging that you did. Like, why? Why are we bragging that we didn't use the solver? It's like some weird way to look cool, but that's how I think about it. Like, imagine you've got the talent and then you also work a little bit. You know what I mean? Wanting to go further. That's how I look at things. I look at things like plus work. What then? So that's my thoughts. But, everyone's got their incentives. Maybe someone wants to be lazy and just fucking print. And there's going to be, some people out there that didn't do shit and they're killing it. It's possible. If you happen to also be one of those people that's just cruising by in life and that's what you want to do, nice. And you can represent kind of the dream in many ways for a lot of people, to be fair. So if that's what you're up to.
Agree with you. Everyone has to do what he wants, how he likes it.
Yeah, I personally have gone kind of in the opposite direction, but I decided this is kind of interesting to see how much I can accomplish. But that's really not a route for everybody. A lot of people want to live the good life, travel, and make money with poker, which I think is cool. Nothing wrong with that. So why'd you start a podcast? It seems kind of like starting a podcast isn't that easy, you know. Like, listen, I'm not making much money off this.
It's not easy, agree. Why I decided to start my podcast? Because I like to do things around poker. I like to be involved in poker. And I think it's a good thing when you're not playing to communicate with people, to show. I like this game a lot. And I want to attract more people and show how nice it is. And I want to speak to people. And, poker is like very closed community. There are not too many poker influencers who show poker as it is. And like when I meet people, they are like really interesting. But unfortunately, they do not tell how nice they are because they just sit and play poker. And when you communicate with them, when you find out about them, about their goals, their philosophy, their lifestyle, it's so nice. So I want to show that people in poker are nice, interesting, and poker world is unique. And everyone has to try it, like at least one time. So that's why I started.
Oh, cool. So yeah, that's definitely a goal in a different direction of just having the chill life. I had a little bit of a wrong read on you for a second and also it's not like really a walk in the park. I find podcasting to be, like to really make money from it is a challenge. But you did a good job with me, by the way. Made it interesting, or at least I enjoyed it.
I want to tell you that I'm not, like, my goal is not to make money from it. I don't know how to make money from it, except having, like, some integrations. But, I want to have my own, my own space, my YouTube channel where I can express my thoughts and, people will see how I communicate with other people. That's not for business. It's for pleasure.
Fair enough. Well, it depends on your definition of pleasure, but yeah, like in certain contexts, it would call it passion, something like that, or whatever. There's some nuance in the way of how communication works. But yeah, well, I appreciate that actually. We do need the game to grow. I actually think there's lots of positive things in poker, the freedom being one very big one, but also like the whole strategic way of thinking and just applying how to solve problems and that sort of stuff, basically. So lots of good things, hidden gems.
And what about you? You see yourself playing poker in future all the time? You want to be known as the poker, how to call it? Not just a player, but something big.
Yeah, something else. I'm trying to fix what's wrong with poker and expound on what's good about it. Okay. And that's interesting. It's more interesting in my opinion than playing. But I play too, and that it involves kind of what you're saying via a podcast. A podcast is a big part of it, and so it involves some writing, it involves some tweeting, it involves some going after some scumbags. The good stuff. The good stuff.
But it's really hard. I am just starting, and I see it's not easy. I have a team helping me because without them, I wouldn't manage with all these things. So the guys who are doing any content, we think, oh my God, he's a content creator. Like this is bullshit. Like walk in the park. It's hard job, honestly. Not hard when you are working at the factory, but it's still not easy.
Right, yeah. It's a bit more luxurious, but like trying to make money with content. I mean, like I don't really understand how these random motherfuckers do it. You have to edit and all that. It sounds like you're not editing. I'm not fucking editing. Kudos to all the poker players out there that are making content. So we need more content creators that are making poker interesting and that kind of thing. That's a budding career of sorts. But they do seem to be a bit of the future for coin poker, etc. Speaking of which, you seem to be very optimistic about what coin poker is doing. You want to talk about that?
Yes, I want, of course, and not because I'm their ambassador. I want poker grow, and I want changes, and I want the game become more popular. And I think that everyone who is doing something for poker is doing great job. And in Coin Poker, we have great team, and we are all very enthusiastic, and I'm happy to be part of it. And I think that we have bright future, and I'm happy to be part of it.
What kind of changes are you looking for?
To attract more people, more fishes, more recreationals. Let's make this game fun. Let's do this.
So how are you going to do that? Come on, we need to know the how. What's the how?
What I can say about my team, like they are very open to ideas of ambassadors, and like I have some followers and they are sending me like what they want to do. And in big rooms, for example, like Poker Stars and GG, I think that they will not ever listen to me, to my ideas, what I want to do and everything. And in Coin Poker, I think that my ideas, my thoughts, they listen to it and they can do something with that.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, yeah, I mean, they seem pretty open and flexible to me. I gotta give them that. I don't want to really I think they look pretty good actually as of lately. Is my personal guess. I think their rake's pretty reasonable too. So that's one thing that I personally am not particularly a fan of on GG, but they actually made the rake reasonable for the GG exclusive games, and have taken they've done a lot of good things, matter of fact. They're not so bad, and they seem pretty open-minded about a number of things. Just the rake is the one thing, and like the way they do some deals with the rake. But, yeah, I don't know much about Poker Stars. They seem to lower the rake too. Seems like things are kind of going in the right direction, except for legislation in many live casinos. Excuse me, legislation or whatever the rake terms are for many live casinos. That seems a bit worse, at least at lower stakes, or the rake's too high at lower stakes. Yeah, my impression of Coin Poker, I don't know too much. They seem positive.
They seem positive. What I want to mention that, of course, poker is experiencing a lot of problems, like in terms of regulations and everything. But like we have to admit that it is like it's very popular. Like everywhere, tournaments are running and like beating records. So that's good. That's great. Though I think poker is a game for old people. Like young people don't like to play this game, unfortunately.
Hey guys, before we get into that, just a quick announcement from the Jungleverse. The Jungleverse is a community that gives you the tools that you need to both crush, get support from the right community in order to succeed in poker in your kind of way. In addition to tools that help you to get better at poker, you've got tools that help make your life easier in a difficult world, such as the justice system, rakeback tools, a community that supports you, working together for your best interest. It's designed to help you find your own kind of way for success, and maps to help you find the best games. The Jungleverse is here to help you. Just click the link below and let's all win together.
Look at the average age at the poker table in live tournament. Like people are like of the reasonable age.
Are they?
You know? I'm waiting. Soon I will be playing these tournaments. How they called these tournaments? Like when you are like 50 plus, seniors. Like
Really?
soon. Like all these pros who are now beating the game, soon they will, you know, like seniors tournaments are supposed to be soft. But soon, like I will be fighting versus these top ranks and they will be like my age and it will not be easy. And young guys are not coming. They are playing different games.
Oh, interesting. I would like to see some data on this. This is news to me. I would think that a lot of young guys are coming from the video games and thinking what they should do, like I did. And then, there's poker. It's kind of like a video game.
I don't think that people are going to spend so much time to, you know, to go through poker, how we call it, go through poker, like finish poker. I don't know the exact translation. They will spend their time in something else, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. That's my perception. Like if someone hears about like going into poker or into crypto, like where to go, I think that they will go. I think
Maybe between those two options. I do think crypto's fairly attractive option, except that it doesn't look at all like a video game. It looks more at all like doing research and you know, you need money to make money too. You need to get involved in product development or something along those lines, or coding. Like, I mean, it makes sense to go into coding. I mean, I almost went into coding and doing something with AI, like you couldn't go wrong with that. I don't know how it works these days. It'd be nice to get some data on this because I don't really know. I would have thought there's loads of people who are trying to play poker and become a pro.
One more thing coming back. When I started playing poker, it was very popular thing. They said like it is like just 2 years left for poker. Like in 2 years there will be no poker, and I hear this all the time. Like 2 years left, and we're still here, and poker is very popular there.
I have heard such things too, but people say stupid things a lot and never seem to learn from history, unfortunately. It takes a bit of a certain kind of thinking. It's not easy kind of thinking because you have to look at things really in the context of like how they were looked at from a different point of view than your current own. Whereas actually it's the same sort of logic that works a lot in poker, but I suppose it could be a helpful tool to training it, but it's hard to think to yourself, okay, the whole perspective was changed. The whole things that one might think in these spots would have been different, and then create future predictions based off of that. It's hard to think like that. It's like basically like being somebody else in a way, even if it was you. Do you see what I'm saying?
Kind of.
But people have been saying a lot of things. People said, oh, the glory days were back in 2010. They said the glory days were in 2005, and then in 2010. Or excuse me, in 2014, they said, oh, the glory days were 2008, and in 2020, they said, oh, the glory days were in 2010. It's always back then, those were the glory days. Remember the glory days.
Isn't it the same for you? Like before it was better, some things?
Yeah, things are definitely better, to be fair. But there's still other possibilities. And yeah, I mean, sometimes things legitimately do get harder, but not like as much as people say. They get harder in a certain sense, but they forget the fact that, presumably there's a constant stream of motion and everything's kind of relative, right? So if like everyone's working in a certain direction, like then if you're presumably working in this in the direction, you're going to also be relatively as good as the other people in a certain spot. It doesn't exactly work like that because there are diminishing returns. However, there are new markets that open up, like in fucking Panama or in China or whatever, where you can go and, there's still plenty of people that are behind the curve, right? Or, wherever else, South Korea, and there's Game of Gold happening. There's no Game of Gold in 2010. Let me tell you.
The place where you are is a big market, and what I like about them, they like gambling, they like playing, and I think this is like the huge field. Like, we should do something with it.
I'm in China right now. I'm already doing things. I'm learning Chinese. I read the history. Chinese history is insane. First of all, you're a literature major. Maybe you knew something about Chinese history. Maybe you've like picked up a book about fucking China and thought, holy fuck, what the fuck's going on in this country? I don't know what books you were reading. Or read about like the Three Kingdoms, for example. You know about the Three Kingdoms? Read about the Three Kingdoms. Literally, it's like something out of an anime. It's literally, okay, there's this dude who's a massive scumbag. He's ruling one of the kingdoms. And there's a dude who's like conniving or whatever. And there's this dude who's very honorable. And they're like fighting over the kingdoms. And then there's the emperor or whatever. That's like a big part of the story. It sounds like there's probably multiple movies on it.
Okay, Three Kingdoms. Okay.
Yeah, if you like anime. That might be your thing because you're in poker. I want to ask you about something really random, by the way.
Ask me anything.
All right, well, this is an important one. You said you don't really believe in astrology, but you were on a show called Battle of the Psychics. Is that right?
No.
No?
No, this is random thing. Like we have this battle of the guys who predict the future, and I went for casting, and I couldn't open the door because I didn't know which side to open. So that's what it. But I have a thing like I want to take part in a reality show, some cool reality show, and I want to apply for this Squid Game reality show. Like I was late for season 2, but maybe they will have it in future. I like to take part in it. I think it's fun. I mean, Game of Gold is kind of reality show. I was thinking that there will be like some punishment, like for us, and it would be not just about poker, but it was about poker. But that's fine too.
What punishment?
I don't know, like something like Did you watch any reality shows? Like Last Hero? Did you have it?
I watched a little bit of Jersey Shore. I think it's about it. On the Jersey Shore, there's this dude. There's a few things I remember here. There's this dude. His nickname was The Situation, and he had like spiked hair, and he was like, I guess, good looking or something. And he would he'd have a lot of confidence, but he wasn't like particularly sharp. But he has this thing like that things would become a situation. But that there's that guy, and then there were a couple guys that were cool. I forget who they were. One of them, by the way, gave Doug Polk like a bit of a shout out. Like Doug Polk ran into one of the guys from Jersey Shore. He's like, Italian guy. He's got like his hair done up or whatever, and he's like super popular. That show's like ultra popular in the U.S. And then Doug, Doug had his hair done up too, and the girls were like, "Oh my God, is that guy from Jersey Shore?" Doug, and the dude said something like, I forget his name, but he said, "Yeah, man, he was, he was one of the extras there," and so we just randomly gave Doug I don't know if he remembers this, but randomly gave Doug like a thumbs up, sort of thing, and the girls would come and say like, "Oh my God, are you from Jersey Shore?" I remember he told me this story years ago. Speaking of which, I had Steve Aoki do sort of a similar thing to me. He like helped try to get me laid. By the way, it's another story I've got. Did his Aoki thing, and it actually kind of worked. To be fair, not exactly, but close. Fucking like over a decade ago. Anyway, there's also this like girl named Snooki. You don't want to be Snooki on Jersey Shore. I don't recommend modeling your strategy of being on reality TV shows off of Jersey Shore for the most part. But that's one example. I will say probably being Eastern European and being unique and stuff was enough on poker to get you on Jersey Shore and being one of the few women in poker. That's my personal guess. But outside of that, I'm not a reality show expert. I think you need to be like super unique or cause loads of drama. Being toxic probably helps, to be honest.
Could be. I don't know. Being toxic doesn't help. Like, at the beginning, when you are just starting the reality show, you can pretend, but at the end, you cannot pretend all the time. So, like, on this show, Game of Gold, were you real or you were playing the role?
Are you saying, was I real when I fell asleep in front of everybody? Was I real when I blew up to go viral? And was I real?
It's Kalina especially, like, why did you treat her like that? You are like super nice person, I think. I met you like by accident in Barcelona and you were nice. But when you were speaking to her in the room, you were nasty. To Kaina.
Oh, I remember what I was feeling in that moment. I just like didn't really feel like answering her questions. I don't know. I just didn't really think much of it. And then at some point, a little switch went on in my head of thinking, oh, I'm a bad teammate. And then I was much nicer. I don't know. Did the show when I was nice to her? I was definitely nice to her like later, like 1,000,000%. I like wrote out a strategy. I forget if I wrote it out, but I described a full-blown fucking strategy and all this stuff. I was not nice at the moment when I think I was annoyed, and also that I realized I made like a mistake in letting there's a difference between going first for that role and then going second. First for that rotation and going second. I realized, oh fuck, I did this stupid thing. I'm just watching this guy run hot as fuck, like picking up all EV. So I was sitting there fuming. So that was it was a bit of a displacement. No, I don't know if it's displacement anger, but rather I just was, I was steaming in the first place. I was just like low willpower. I'm just figuring out how to process what's going on and just not wanting to see what was happening in front of my eyes. Yeah. But unless you do bad things, people do bad things, I'm not so nice. I believe in healthy conflict and not tolerating bullshit. So
I don't know. I was not in the room with you. I didn't hear to what you were saying. But like I heard shouts outside when I was going out from my room. You had like real fight over there, like not real fight, but you were like really angry and your viral were shouting, and that's interesting.
I think there's a bit of a misunderstanding because I thought that he had hustled for an advantage in the situation, and I didn't really communicate that very well on and off the camera. And then that was what got me very angry. And sometimes that's the right approach, but most of the time, I think it's really easy to miss that. Yeah, just, so he might have been innocent for one thing. I realized I made a big mistake. Yeah. So sometimes I do get in little scuffles, as a matter of fact.
So you want to say that you are not toxic overall?
I'm not what?
Not toxic.
Not on purpose. No, I'm not. I'm pretty not toxic. I have almost no toxic traits, I would say. I know I like couple a little bit. I mean, there's some here and there. What's your most toxic trait? If we're gonna talk toxic, this might be good for your reality TV show portfolio.
I don't know. I don't think that I'm toxic. My sister says that I'm a bitch, but I don't think so. I don't agree with that.
Well, she's a high chance of thinking whatever she's gonna think. But what does the poker world think?
I have no clue. I think that poker world has his own life, and they don't care honestly about some random girl. So
I wonder if you could apply for like Amazing Race or something like that. If you have like a good connection with somebody, I don't know, you wanted to go on a reality show. I don't know if Game of Gold is your only outlet, you're going to be struggling because I mean, there's a Game of Gold season once every like 2.5 years, right? So if you miss it, like who knows if there's going to be a season 3. So you have to widen your, horizon of which reality shows you get on. This is Mike reality.
I want to go for Squid Game. Squid Game. They are like TV show, which is like almost the same as TV series, but they don't kill people. They have other punishments there. So it would be nice. Like in Game of Gold, we had like similar things. Like in Squid Game, like prize pool was 456,000, like in Squid Game. So, and they were like eliminating teams and everything. So that was fun.
Actually, from someone who's actually tried to get on these shows, one thing they look for is true, genuine interest in the show. Who would have thought that they actually do aim for the people that deserve to be on the show for that reason? Because that's actually a good reason to invite people on the show. Who would have thought there's a bit of meritocracy going on getting on these shows? So, yeah, that's kind of why actually I failed to get on a couple of these because I don't really watch TV that much. But maybe you could be the person. Maybe you watch Squid Games all the time. Maybe you know all the episodes, and maybe you got a good backstory. And maybe I don't know how it works. Maybe they haven't had a poker player before.
Did you apply for a reality show like in your life?
Yeah, I applied to Amazing Race. I applied to this one thing about cornholes. Well, my agent knew all these shows. I knew about Amazing Race. I've seen Amazing Race like 3 times. Okay. Like 20 years ago or whatever it was. They've seen it. I might have applied to Survivor. I think Survivor wasn't nearly as appealing as it looked.
Yes, that's what I was asking you. Like in my country, it's called Last Hero. Like Survivor, I was applying for this, and I had we had 3 stages, 3 interviews. I passed 2, and last one they said no. Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. They don't explain. I'm not that interesting. Like
there's got to be patterns, That's what we kind of looked at. I did a little bit of research and saw who like got on too, but it's kind of hard to build it or fake it if it's not there. So I think there were groups that got on because their advice was always be yourself. But the thing about being yourself, let me explain be yourself to people. Be yourself works when yourself is good enough. It doesn't work when you're not good enough. When you already qualify, be yourself's great. But if you're not qualified, now there's a problem. Be yourself doesn't fucking work in that case. So the people happen to have like a fantastic connection with each other on Amazing Race. That's kind of what they were looking for. So to not, they're fairly honest, actually. A lot of the times these guys are honest and just tell you what the problem is. Even if for reality shows you're not interesting enough, I'm sure you can find a way if you're really diligent. I believe you can become interesting enough, or if you're not already interesting enough.
Yeah, I think that on reality show there are like different personalities and they should be different. So that's fine that you are you, I think. People still will like you. Some will like you, some will not.
That's true. You could change your personality in some ways, move it a little bit. It's a weird idea for a lot of people. But like if someone's personality is like, I'm trying to think of how to explain. Like you wouldn't try to be someone who's like wildly different from yourself, but you would try to like just polarize more. I would think makes sense. At least that seems to make sense. Thinking about it, like obviously, I mean, some people have kind of done this in a toxic way as a simple example that is a bit more obvious, where they know that the toxic trait gets them famous. So a good example actually is like the girl that slept with 100 men, but I would never recommend doing that. But she like went down the dark rabbit hole, right? But there's positive and neutral rabbit holes, of course. There's people who like learned music or fucking became a DJ or, stuff like that. It changes who you are. If you're a fucking DJ, now your personality is going to change because you're a fucking DJ and you're dancing to songs going like this. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's part of the reason why I try on different costumes, if I'm honest. There's got to be other things, too. Yeah. Certain jobs people gravitate to. Like, I'm sure, like, would you ever be, this is my personality analysis. Would you ever be something like a nurse? Maybe you'd be a nurse. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, maybe you could be the nurse type. That's actually endearing, by the way. But would you ever be a lawyer? Maybe you would be a lawyer too. Fuck.
I mean, I would like to be if I had enough knowledge for that, because they should be very smart. Like,
Yeah.
to be a good nurse, you need to have like sympathy to people. You want to help them. Though I know people who are doctors and they have no they don't feel pain for others. They don't care. They just do their job. Yeah. So like lawyers, I respect these people when they are doing the like successful lawyers, when they're doing their great job, like professionally. Yeah. Like I always like being a professional is great. So I have respect to these people. So I wish I would be a lawyer, but I'm not that smart.
Believe in yourself. Smart enough to succeed.
I'm realistic.
I mean, you're as smart as you apply yourself. By the way, many common traits of the geniuses were, in fact, that they're very. If you look in Leonardo's history, Leonardo da Vinci, what made him really smart was actually he was super curious. He was curious about everything. But like your mind's only like definitely is a huge part that's developable. That's my personal guess. But what can I say? I'm going to be biased because I've had plenty of success and stuff. So, yeah, well, all right, we got to wrap this up soon. Olga,
Yeah.
what would you be? What are 2 jobs you may be if you weren't a poker player? Would you be a ballet dancer? Would you be something else? Would you be into crypto?
Oh, okay. So it's not like I have to choose whom I want to be. Like if I would like to be a flight attendant, because they also travel a lot, and like I like helping people. I could be a flight attendant, although I was applying 2 times and they rejected me. That's fine. I could be a teacher because I was studying literature. I could be a teacher of literature. I don't know. There are so many interesting jobs like to do. I don't know. Ballet dancer, I'm not that good. Unfortunately, I'm too lazy. I'm not disciplined. But I admire these people too. Like I wish I was, but I'm not that good here.
Well, ballet you need to be obsessed for. I know that. I know about ballet. I know how fucking hard dancing is, how hard ballet dancing. So you can scratch ballet if it's off the list. But flight attendant, nurse, maybe lawyer,
TV host is also interesting. Also,
reality star, TV host,
could
like
be
attention, clearly. Okay.
a podcaster, podcast TV host, like very similar things. I don't
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, very similar. So it's kind of the same idea. Well, best of luck with your podcast.
Thank you so
It'd be
much.
interesting. Yeah, you're good at asking questions and stuff, making them interesting for me. See if they land with the audience. Yes, thank you for your time. Any last thoughts, promotions for Coin Poker, shit talks that you want to mention? Any last words?
Thank you for this conversation. I didn't expect it to be so nice. You were super friendly to me. I was thinking that it would be something like exam, so I'm kind of surprised. Thank you for your time, and thank you for inviting me here. I'm very glad.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you had fun, and yeah, it was a good talk. All right.
Thank you so much.
Again, thank you for your time, and go Coin Poker and Olga and all your tournament ventures.
Yeah. Good luck, everyone.